What about it, YouTube? Okay, so there's a guy named Andrew Yang, and he's running for president. More, I guess, than anything, just to get the discussion going on BMI, or basic minimum income. And his argument for basic minimum income is because of the fast rate that jobs are being lost due to automation and robotics, and that it's just going to get progressively worse, exponentially worse in his argument, and that we need to find solutions to put money back out into the economy to get money into the consumer's hands, because where a worker used to make a good, whatever it might be, and then take that money and spend it back out into the economy. Well, now that worker is no longer there. The robot's doing the work. The company's saving money, but now what? The worker has, and they discussed, trying to retrain everybody, and how there's just going to be all these jobs lost. So retrain them to do what? The shortages of jobs are coming from a lot of different areas. And so, anyway, so he was wanting to just get this discussion rolling on BMI, and it's been around for a few years. I first heard about it a few years ago in Europe. There's no reason why it can't work. So anyone who tries to argue that it's, it's bad, like, oh, people, you hear arguments like, oh, now people are just going to go, buy lottery tickets and screw off, and by giving them this basic minimum income. Anyway, those people that want to worry about what would be the money would be spent on is stupid. The money just needs to go out into the economy. And the other argument would be like, well, now, giving everybody money, well, where's that going to come from? They're going to raise my taxes. And then even Yang was talking about a VAT tax. While he was talking about how these companies need to give something, like Amazon, these great big companies are paying no taxes as it is, and as things become more automated, they need to give in to this thing called BMI somehow. But where would the VAT tax be shuffled off to? I mean, it would end up on the consumer, so that makes no sense. That's like a circle. Like, that's just a bunch of people in the middle with their hands in it. That's just more usury. That's just more nonsense. So I've talked about how we could, just have like a public utility house, and you start off with, perfect credit, and you have loan caps. And so in life, you're 16 years old, you can get $5,000, and you go and you pay that off in the terms that you signed up for, and then you get your thing raised to $10,000 or whatever, and you can go up through life, and as you pay off a couple loans, now you can maybe handle a couple different loans, But anyway, that's my idea of getting rid of the usury and just having like a 1% loan origination fee, and that would pay for like the administration and everything else, and it would let the economy grow at the pace that it should, because as the economy demands, there be more money in order to go out there and get more stuff done, so businesses and people can go out there and fuel the economy by having a flexible and real-time access to the money. Anyway, that would be great, but not necessarily, but it would be great to have that along with BMI, because BMI could basically be, it could be just like EBT is. Okay, it doesn't need to be. You need to watch out for anybody that wants to like start making it complicated, and now we're gonna have to go with cashless, or we're gonna have to go with a bit like a cryptocurrency based, or a gold backed, or a. Don't let anybody like start throwing that nonsense in to the mix of talking about BMI. BMI can work just fine, just because basic needs. If somebody needs, first of all, I think the card should actually be a healthcare and food card that has what a generous limit on the food each month, so that people wouldn't just be gluttonous or whatever. But a generous, and then people would buy more healthy foods. You'd have people that could run their card at the doctor, and it could all be done like e-verify. Like, let's make sure you didn't use somebody else's card. Whatever, you're gonna have to e-verify, just like you'd e-verify on the computer or whatever. Anyway, it could all be done through the transaction. It could all be verified of who you are and what type of a transaction it is that would, show that it's all legitimate. I had to go to the doctor because I'm having a heart attack. All right, okay, cool, got it all paid for. Nice, no problem. Or, hey, I need some Cheerios. Great. But, and then make a limit on that. Now, as far as like a BMI, like a flexible limit, like that you can spend on whatever. Again, that could just be limited onto the card. So it doesn't need to be, and the card can know like all your purchases. Like, I've got a gas card that knows all my purchases, keeps track of how many Mountain Dews I buy, Kickstarts, whatever, and then every so often gives me a coupon for a free one. So if it can do all this, right, it can figure out like, okay, you bought this many food items, that comes out of your food item allowance for the month. You got so many non-food items, that comes out of your non-food item allowance, your basic minimum non-food item allowance. And there you go. It's not a bad idea. Now, people are going to complain, oh, everybody's going to be lazy and everything else. Well, essentials, I don't see any kind of problem with at all. Why not have a public who's absolutely confident every day that they're going to be able to get food and they're going to be able to get health care? All right? The only thing now that they might have to worry about is shelter. That's it. But hopefully you've got enough friends that'll take you until you can get on your feet. You can pay. You're not having to rob his pantry, your friend's pantry, your mom's pantry, right? Because you've got your own card. So you've got you've got a confident way to get out on your feet. You got your health care and your food's covered. Now you just need enough money that you can afford rent. And a little bit more, right? So I don't even think you would need a BMI beyond that. I really don't. I think that if you covered essentials like food and health care, then everything would be just fine. And it's not going to cause, these are non-equitable transactions, folks. So this would be no addition to the economy. Now, just giving people money so they can go out and buy non-essentials like whatever, Xboxes and stuff. Now they can go sell that, and I don't know. To me, it gets messy if you start doing it that way. To me, it'd be very simple and easy to have one card, health and food, keeps track of all your transactions. As long as it's legitimate, it goes through no problem. And you got some kind of a limit on your food each month, but plenty for any normal person to feed themselves well, very well. And there again, you just have a healthy public that would be confident about going out there and getting something churned up so that they could pay for their own place to live and whatever else, okay? So that's my idea on BMI, okay? My idea on BMI is just a simple card. There's no big brother, there's no big apparatus, there's no big, change to everybody's stuff. It's just a real simple thing, and it's just like everybody can just go get their food. Because the people that work at all the people that went through the work to put the food on the shelf at the grocery store, that work's already been done. The way their labor gets represented is when you go buy it. So if you can't go buy it, their labor doesn't get represented. They still had to go and do all the work to go put it on the shelf. And guess what? If nobody goes and buys it, now somebody's got to go deal with it and throw it away and credit it out. And there's more work involved that adds up to zero equity. So now you have a bunch of labor that never got represented in real terms in the economy. That happens right now. And it just gets worse if you can't have the money to represent that labor that took place. So you need to start thinking of money as representing labor. So the doctor went to school to be able to fix you. When he fixes you, he's going to put time and invest his expertise in you. That's worth money. So you run the card, there's the money. He got paid. See? It represented the real work he did. You can't go sell your new, fixed health, so you're good. The economy's great. I mean, otherwise what? He sits there and you sit there. He sits there and goes like, dang, I wish I had some customers. And you sit there and go like, dang, I wish I could afford to go to the doctor. It's stupid. Run a card, bam. Okay, same thing with the grocery store. All the people that went and put that stuff on the shelf, and all the people in the farms, and everybody canning it up, and everybody doing all this stuff and packaging it up, making the labels and advertising it and everything else, getting it up there on the shelf. Bunch was invested to make it so that you could finalize a transaction and represent all that labor that went into putting it there. So throw the damn card down and let's do it. Okay? That's my BMI. God bless y'all.